Let's go to the last and final point. Come down a home stretch here. And now we're in Psalm 43, which is the third stanza of this one psalm. These two psalms should never have been separated. And the point here that David wants us to grab hold of is now we got to look to the future with longing and hope. Look to the future with longing and hope. David says, "Vindicate me, O God, and defend my cause against an ungodly people. From the deceitful and unjust man, deliver me." Now he's looking to the future and he's asking God, you gotta stick up for me. Vindicate me. You gotta show that I'm on your side here. He's looking to the future here. And then he almost loses it again. Look what happens next. "You are the God in whom I take refuge. Why have you rejected me? Why do I go about mourning because of the oppression of the enemy?" Here he is about to lose it again, teetering on the edge of despair. One more quick observation about this. Do you notice how he keeps using the same phrases? Have you ever noticed about someone that's a complainer, and maybe you've done this yourself, how they often will use the same words over and over again? Like a litany of misery. To the point where you almost don't want to be with them anymore because it's going to be a liturgy that you're going to hear time and time again. They're going to moan and complain about the same thing and use the same words and never change. David's on the verge of doing that, but then, verse 3, he catches himself one more time. And he looks to God and he prays, "Send out your light and your truth. Let them lead me. Let them bring me to your holy hill and to your dwelling. Then I will go to the altar of God, to God my exceeding joy. And I will praise you with the lyre, O God, my God." And then he finishes with the chorus, "Why are you cast down, O my soul? Why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God." What saved David in this moment? He saw a vision of his future, and he saw that God was there. He saw that God was going to restore him. He saw that it was not going to be this way forever, that he was not alone. My friends, do you know this? That a future where God is present is such a hope to have. And the hope that a follower of Jesus Christ has is unlike a hope that anybody else can have. Because there's two tiers to our hope. If you follow Jesus Christ, you have a hope for this life. Why is that? Because Christ is with you. Yes? And if Christ is with us, and if Christ is for us, then who can be against us? And whatever story God is writing in your life, if Christ holds the pen, then as long as you have life, you have hope. But here's the deal, and anybody over 50 understands this. Does this life give you everything you need, want, and desire? Does it fulfill all your dreams? Will you be perfectly vindicated in this life? Everything you want in this life, you'll get it. I see some head shaking. You know it's not true. In fact, this life will crush you and disappoint you, break your heart so many times. Why is that? Because we live in a ruined splendor. We are broken. We are sinful, each one of us. And this world is fallen, and it is cursed. And so anyone who puts all their hope in this life's basket is of all people the most to be pitied. What then can we do? Where do we turn? What hope do we have when the goodness of this life wears thin or wears out? Well, it's the second tier of hope that a Christian has. We not only have hope for this life, but we have hope for eternity. And this is where cynics and skeptics go, "Oh, you Christians, there you go, with your pie in the sky, by and by again. Your religion's just an opiate to you." And that's the point when I want to turn back at them and say, "Oh yeah? Well, what hope do you have to offer the world, you who do not believe in God? What lasting, pure hope do you have to offer? Politics? Get the right person voted into office? Come on." Human history is littered with the wreckage of one failed political utopia after another. Science! They'll say, "Well, science is my hope." Please, God, cure Alzheimer's. Please, can we find the cure for cancer? But let's stop pretending that science can meet the deepest needs and longings of the human heart. I've actually heard people say, "Sports is my hope." I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. My friends, as long as Tom Brady is alive, there will be no joy for any other sports fan or football franchise until he's gone. Mark my words. I'm not even videotaping the game today. My friends, if your ultimate hope, hear me now, if your ultimate hope is not found in Jesus Christ and the eternity that he purchased for you by his death on the cross and his resurrection from the grave, then your hope, whatever it is in, will fail you. Fame, fortune, friendship, fun, whatever it is, it's like sand. It'll drift through your fingers and be gone. For a Christian, fame, fortune, friendship, fun, all those are good things. They're gifts from God. We receive them, but then we let them pass through our hands and give them back to God as worship. But if you don't believe in God, you cling to it with everything you got, and you lose it anyway. We need Jesus Christ. There's a new book that John Eldridge has called All Things New. I encourage you to get a copy. He reflects in this book on what the next life will be like. If your thought of heaven is that it's sitting on a cloud with a harp in a very dull, drab place, and a lot of Christians really honestly think that way about heaven. They think that heaven can't possibly be better than earth is at its best, and they don't really look forward to going. And John Eldridge just obliterates that. But anyway, he's describing a story. He gets a phone call while he was finishing up this book. One of his best friends had lymphoma, seemed to make a recovery, and then relapsed. And a phone call came one day that his best friend had died. And he describes how devastating it was. And he was sitting on the front porch with his family, his wife, a couple of his adult kids, and he just couldn't process this. He wrote in the book, and some of you can relate to this idea. He began to wonder, life begins to feel like it is only and always going to be about loss, he writes. And they sat there for an hour, just in this mournful silence, and at last his son looked up and quietly said, "There is only Jesus." Dear ones, I don't know what you're going through today in your private story. I don't know what griefs are overshadowing your heart. I don't know what sins are clinging to you. I don't know what fears are crippling you. But I want to say once more as I close, very, very slowly, very deliberately, these 4 words again, and I want you to hear them very prayerfully, very soberly. Listen, there is only Jesus.